I swear I have an explanation for this. So, way back in college, I was having some issues in my Painting 101 class. I was being extremely frugal with my paints. I hated mixing colors, and I was spending more time trying to stop from making a mess than I actually was painting. In hindsight, I know that these were manifestations of my untreated obsessive compulsive disorder. However, at the time, it was just a headache for my professor. So she decided to add some extra qualifications to my next assignment. She told me that I had to create a large painting that was completely abstract, that had several mixed colors, that I had to paint in class because she was going to come around randomly and splatter paint on it, which. And the big one, I wasn't allowed to use brushes. I cheated a lot. But I mostly painted with sticks, leaves, and my own fingers. And the result was this. It's awful. It's just awful. But it's also a really good representation of the mess that I was back then. And I hate it. Every time I look at it, I feel just as confused and trapped as I felt back then. Even so, I've hung on to this thing for 15 years. I've moved with it 5 times. And the only reason I still own it is that I have trouble getting rid of things because of the OCD. So, I've decided that I am going to reclaim this. I'm going to take this canvas and I am going to turn it into something that I love looking at, that makes me feel content and happy and not a mess. So, let's do that. So, this project is cursed. I used a projector last night to put a sketch that I had created on here. Of course, I had to do it with the lights off, so I couldn't record it. But it did not go according to plan. I first broke about 6 colored pencils trying to do this because this canvas is apparently made of unobtainium. And then when I could start drawing, for some reason, between me painstakingly copying the line that was projected on here and turning off the projector, they moved. I don't know how. They just did. And so I had to kind of fix this alignment shift that happened. And, oh, by the way, the paint won't stay on the canvas. There were a lot of places where it just scraped off because that's apparently what it's doing now. But I'm going to conquer this painting, whether it likes it or not. This canvas shall be mine, and it shall be good, and it's just going to have to like it. So I'm breaking out the Posca pens, and we're going to make this work. Now all the main colors are down. I've got it pretty well laid out, but it's all very streaky and it all needs a second coat. But instead of recording all of that, I'm just going to... This project is cursed. So originally when I did the big clap, I was going to do a second coat, and then when I came back it was going to be all nice and pretty and done. Yay. And that's not what happened. I went to do a second coat, and then I did a third coat, and then I did 5 coats, and then it became really clear to me, way later than it should have, that something was wrong with the Posca pens. So I tried the Posca pens on a ton of other things and they were working just fine, so it was actually the canvas. The canvas was no longer accepting paint. I don't know if it was the texture, I don't know if it was the gods laughing at me, I don't know. It was something. But I decided I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to spend 2 more weeks taking acrylics and a small paintbrush, and I'm going to do it all over again, which I did. I would recommend it, but I did it. And after what was supposed to be a 3-day project, because I do take a lot of breaks, I admitted I take breaks. It was supposed to be a 3-day project. It turned into a month-long project. Now I have this! And I'm so happy with it. I mean, look at. It's got the pockets, and it's got the waves, and it's all very nice and opaque and crisp, and I like it. I cannot tell you how rare a thing it is for me to actually like something that I painted. Usually I judge it and I critique it and I'm mildly infuriated with whatever I've created, but this I like. I like it. Look at it. And so I took something that I was really sick to look at, that the original painting just, it did not make me feel good in my soul, and now it's so pretty. I keep walking in to look at it, and I think I'm going to actually hang it in my house, which is not something I ever do. I don't hang my art in my house. I pack it away in a closet. Not really sure why, but that's something that I do, and I'm working on that too. But that's another video. This is this video, and it was a lot of work. It was far more work than it should have been, but it's done, and it's pretty, and I'll show you a bunch of close-up shots after I stop rambling, but I'm so happy. I really am. I'm so happy. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this roller coaster of emotion that I have gone on with this, and for watching this all the way through, which, thank you. You didn't have to, and you did, and I appreciate it. So, now I'm supposed to tell you to do those YouTube-y things. Click the buttons, do the things. I'm guessing if you're on YouTube, you know what they are. Subscribe. But just look at it, because that's what I'm doing. So, thank you. And I'll see you in the next video where I'll do something hopefully mildly less infuriating and gut-wrenching. But in the meantime, I'm happy, and I will see you next time. So, bye. Back when I was in college, in hindsight, I know that those issues were due to I was doing so well.